today I'm doing a market breakdown for you guys and for QQQ and SPY, as well as other tickers like IWM and the financial sector. And I'll be looking at a little bit of Apple and Microsoft as well to better evaluate QQQ support and resistance, because they are the largest holdings in QQQ. So we'll start off with QQQ. And this morning, I'm going to go to the 5-minute time frame. So this morning, we broke above that the previous resistance from yesterday's high, this little area. So we broke above it, and there was not a lot of follow through. The main reason is because I'm going to go to Apple. You can see Apple here on the daily time frame is testing its roughly its quadruple top. I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6 area. So you can see there's a lot of resistance in that area, and Apple could not get over it again today. You can see this move to this move is 8% move, and we did that in 3 days, and very likely we reject from that. And now we did it again from here to here, just in 4 days, 6% move. And this time the pullback is there's no red flags for this pullback. Let's just say compared to this one. The previous one, you can see the next day we have very notable drops already right away with a gap down. Today's pullback, 0.55%. That's not a big deal at all. You can still still in a bull flag territory. So we can say, let's see how much we have retraced. We have retraced only to the 0.236 Fibonacci retracement. So if it's a bull flag, it needs to be within the 0.382 range. So Apple can drop another from today's close to 0.38 with another 1%, still in a bull flag. So there's no red flags for the bulls at all at the moment for Apple. So this time I would say we have the best chance of breaking above this resistance. So we can likely, chop around here a little bit and consolidate. And once the market is ready, we can have a next move up. Also, it will also depend on SPY, of course, and the financial sector if it wants to bounce at all, which I'll go over that. And Microsoft, on the other hand, did break above its little resistance in this area. It's a lot less resistance than Apple. You can see how much of the resistance there is tested over there. And we broke above it with not a lot of follow through due to QQQ being red. So it kind of dragged a little bit of it down. But overall, Microsoft was the lead bull today. And Amazon and Meta dragged the sector down. Google did pretty well as well. So now I'm going to go look at financial sector, which is the most important thing all the bulls are looking at. So I'm going to go to the 15-minute time frame. See, in the past couple of days, we have tested this recent low. Pretty much we broke yesterday and not a lot of follow through. Today we retested the area once and twice, and it's the third time here. And each time we held. So it's a good sign for the bulls. It's the very first sign the bulls needs to have a change in favor to the bulls. It's just the very first step. And now the bulls just need to prove that we can have a trend change. So we have no trend change at all. We don't have the 15-minute uptrend. We don't even have the 5-minute trend. Actually, we do. Let's see here. Do we go lower? I would say we still don't. Actually, we do. Okay, we have the 5-minute trend change here, but that's like nothing for the bulls at the moment. So we need a hourly trend change at the bare minimum to shape up for the bulls to even consider that this bottom is set. But it's good that we actually bounce off of it, 3 times so far. And so what we need is the bulls to make a higher high compared to the previous hourly candle. So I would call this a double bottom. Let me erase that so I can see more clearly. Yeah, you can argue if you say this is a higher low, this low is higher than this low by a tiny bit, I would say you could be right as well. So essentially we need to set a higher high here above this high. Then that would give us an hourly uptrend. That's the very first step the bull needs for the financial sector. And that's all the SPY bulls want to see. So we can confirm that. Then we'll start looking into the 4 hours and like a daily bounce as well. See, the daily is very beaten up, but there's no signs of bounce at all since we don't even have an hourly uptrend. So that's what I'm looking at starting next week is the financial sector. If can it get a hourly trend change, and then we start to shape up a daily bounce and start to form something that is more favorable to the bulls or not. If we get a decent enough bounce, then we have a space for a higher daily higher low, then we could potentially try to change the trend back to uptrend to the bulls. As of now, there's no signs of that. So the first thing, like I said, we'll be looking at would be the hourly trend change. And I took a little bit of a short this morning on IWM at this area right here. I went into TZA, which is the bear leverage 3x ETF for IWM. So if IWM goes down 1%, TZA goes up 3%. So I took it there because you can see on QQQ, we had this 5-minute rising wedge over here. And rejected it one, two, three, 4 times. And so I decided to just take it. And we ended up breaking that rising bear. And we had a nice move down. And I took profit around roughly this area. Because, go back here. We dropped roughly, I go to the 5 minutes, it looks the same. Easier to see. So roughly I took profit around this area. 17. So that would be as well 18. Yeah, right in this area. The reason for that is because you can see this low is the support that we had previously for the inverse head and shoulders play right here. So I didn't want to be too greedy. I wasn't going to think that we're just going to roll over and break the low of the day and have more bear follow through because there's no red flags for QQQ. And if you zoom out, today may seem like a really bearish day due to how fast we dropped in the morning. But if you zoom out into the daily for QQQ, there's absolutely no red flags. So you guys can see here, we have roughly a 7% bounce, and we are currently just consolidating. It's still in that bear flag territory as well. What I showed you guys earlier for the Apple. Yeah, that was it. What I showed you guys earlier for Apple as well. So you can see QQQ is still within that, very well within. QQQ didn't even test. QQQ tested the 0.238, and now we're back above it. So it's a nice wick, lower wick. So we still have a lot of rooms for consolidation. And after all, we moved 7.7% up in 4 days. A little bit of consolidation is very normal. No red flags for the bulls. In fact, we actually held up a lot better than I thought today. Given how weak the financial sector is, we still held up very, very well. So into next week, I will be looking bullish if we hold this triple bottom for XLF, the financial sector. And if this starts to bounce, then SPY would likely to bounce as well. SPY's daily chart is nowhere near as good as QQQ at the moment, but still not the worst. You can see we had this little daily trend change here, and yeah, we'll just see which if the lead bull is going to turn into lead bear or the laggard bears are going to turn into bulls. So we'll see if XLF will join the team bull and with QQQ joining QQQ, or QQQ is going to join Team Bear, where QQQ starts rolling over with XLF. We'll likely get more consolidation, where QQQ is going to start dropping even more if XLF breaks this triple bottom low, and we get a new fear low from XLF. We're going to leg down. So we'll really see how this weekend, if we get any news from the banks or anything. So far, I don't think those news would really affect the sector at the moment, since we already have pretty much most of the news that we wanted to hear. And most important would be the Fed next week, Wednesday, which is still now pricing in a 70% of a 0.25 basis point hike. So I'll be looking at that as well. The key would be if Jerome's going to tell us that this is the last hike and they're likely going to pause or not. So for now, I'll see you guys over the weekend. I might do a longer video where I do the weekly time frame to zoom out to see what's the most likely scenario for the weekly and monthly time frame for the QQQ and SPY for the swing traders that like to hold their positions longer. As of now, I'm all cash. I did a lot of scalping this week, and I'll see if there's anything I like to swing next week. If XLF joins Team Bull, then I'll likely start to add some QQQ or SPY leverage bull ETFs to have it swing a day or two, and we'll go from there. Have a great weekend.